All right, guys, welcome back here to Kings of the Storm 5. I am Solid Jake.
And I'm Kubi.
And we're going into Game 1 here of the winners' finals between Vortex and Symbiote.
Yes. No. Nope. Try again.
Vortex and Tempo Storm.
Hey!
Good job, good job, good job, good job, team.
Almost
team
just went along with it. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Good on you.
Yep. All right. So
And,
we're setting up the lobby here for you guys.
Yep.
Just going to get these players invited.
This is a best-of-3 series between these two teams. And the first map is going to be Dragonshire. So, again, we'll get the lobby set up here, and we'll have the draft rolling in just a moment. But just to take a look at the bracket that we've gone through here today, we can see that Tempo Storm advanced over ESV Wildfire, then Barrel Boys, and now they've made their way to face Vortex. But Vortex, they had to defeat Evil Geniuses and their sister team, Cloud9 Maelstrom, to make it here to this winter finals. Not an easy road for either team.
No.
I
Tough
think
bracket. This is a very stacked bracket, of course.
I mean, this is one of our monthly events, which all the qualifiers filter into, and I think actually both teams are undefeated at this point in time.
Yeah. I think so. Yes, they are. Both teams have not lost a map yet, so yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting moving forward into this series. I always enjoy watching these two teams play against each other. They have just really solid play overall, and everything's just very good. Just really good play.
Just
good.
very good.
Just
very good.
Just
Very
good play
good.
between the
Well,
two teams. No, so
now-
insightful.
Now, both of I mean, we've seen some weird stuff out of Tempo Storm today. I caught myself, man. Getting that,
Yeah.
getting that name. We've seen some cool stuff out of them. Pretty much all day, we've seen double support. Now, they actually twice in a row they went for Uther and Malfurion, and they just went this competition
yeah.
where they just don't die. They're just like, okay, we're invincible. We're just actually not
Yeah.
gonna die. And even in situations where they managed to get a Void Prism and secure people out, like lock people out, and like just have one member, they still didn't get the kills they needed. So,
Yeah.
some pretty cool stuff. And it looks like that they're starting right away, so we're going to move
So
on
fast.
over to our draft here. And it looks like the first ban is going to be coming out of Tempo Storm on Tassadar.
Yeah. And I think, did we see a ban out of them on... Yes, we did. First game, and it was on Dragonshire as well. They banned out Tassadar. I wonder, actually, if it's because they like to do some cheeky shenanigans with the rotations between mid and bottom lane, where you have that 1-1-3 set up. And if they like to do that stuff, Tassadar kind of shuts that down a little bit with Oracle. That could be a play for that, but other than that, I'm not really sure why they would value out banning Tassadar on this map over other maps.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we're looking at Dragonshire here. But yeah, we see the ban is going to be Kerrigan for Vortex, and the first pick looking like Stitches here for Tempo Storm. Guys, a quick PSA. I see Steve putting in the chat. We are going to be doing a lot of cool stuff over on the Kings of the Storm Twitter. So guys, if you like this tournament series, if you guys have been watching this for the many weeks we've been running, you better go follow that Twitter account. And if you don't have a Twitter account, you're killing esports.
Oh, don't do that.
You're just slaughtering
Don't do
it.
that.
Just butchering it.
Okay, so we have the ban on Tassadar, we have the ban on Kerrigan, and the first pick coming out of Tempo Storm is Stitches. Stitches. So I think that the ban on Tassadar also sort of has the effect, especially when your first pick, ban out Tassadar, and you're hoping to force, in this case, Cloud9 Vortex to ban out Stitches, so that you sort of get free reign on whether you feel like securing your that Arthas pick, or if you just want to grab some early damage. Whatever it is that you want to do. They didn't fall for that. Well, I don't even know if you call it falling for that, if it's just whether you feel like dealing with Stitches or not. But it essentially gives Stitches to Tempo Storm. C9 Vortex will have some strategies to deal with that, I'm sure. Something they're well aware of and they've dealt with before in drafting. And they follow that up immediately with a Vala, Tychus. So they say, okay, yeah, you can have your quote-unquote OP warrior. We're gonna take our quote-unquote OP DPS range here in Vala Tychus. So
they grabbed Nazebo Uther like almost instantly after that. They're just like, look, you know, we don't care if you have Vala and Tychus. We're going to get Nazebo Uther. And I'm just going to ask you, do you think we're going to see Malfurion again? Because we've seen Malfurion Uther twice out of them. I mean, Kubi's looking at his notes. He's comparing the drafts in the previous games. He's putting the numbers together. What does he discover?
No, they never use Stitches in any of these. It could still happen, of course.
Inconclusive.
I was checking to see if any of the drafts looked similar to their previous ones, but yeah. They could still do it. And it's not something that's, it's crazy. They're basically looking for a situation where they have a ton of lockdown and roots available for Nazebo, just to either make sure that they didn't get to Nazebo to knock him out of his Ravenous Spirit. But they have Stitches, right? So they can't go. They've been running ETC in that type of style
Right,
before,
yeah,
so no need. They have Stitches.
Well, we see they're actually going to be grabbing Zeratul and ETC, so ETC is going to be their tank, and Zeratul having the presence of Void Prison. Now, you can use Void Prison to set up for some big dances. It's going to be like that first dance of middle school when you're just so terrified of that. They said...
Jake's trying to get through this story, and he's coming up. He's like, all right, where are we going next to this? And I am like making this ridiculous grimace on my face, and it gets worse and worse as the story goes on, and he just eventually cracks and can't continue.
Oh, goodness. Well,
so yeah, ETC. All right, one thing I want to point out here with ETC,
boys. What? They haven't actually officially announced these picks
it
in chat. Yes, Thrall and Malfurion.
Oh, I want to see Glaurung's Thrall, just because
We've seen it. We've seen it.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, we have.
In this tournament?
Not this tournament.
Okay. I've always been making the analogy between Kerrigan and Thrall, especially early game, and of course Glaurung's very well known for his Kerrigan. So I've been just kind of waiting to see him pick up Thrall and
the one time we played Thrall, he got shut out so much, and we haven't seen it since. So I mean, that was the week that Thrall was put into the game. And I wasn't sold on his Thrall, but we're going to see what they can do here. Now,
Malf.
Right. So we are seeing. No, I know. That's what we're getting. We're getting to that. We're getting to the fact that we're talking about Thrall with double support. Now, Malfurion and Uther, we saw this earlier. The lockdown available. I mean, the roots with Stitches in general is scary, but you throw the zombie wall and the Wolfie there for Thrall. Gonna be pretty darn strong. And Vortex, I don't know if they saw the games earlier today because they were playing themselves, so they probably don't have a lot of time to sit there and pick. Now, maybe their coach is watching the competition and saying, hey, look, this is what they were doing.
Right.
Giving them that information. But they might be scratching their heads right now.
Yeah, another interesting thing to point out is that I think this is the first time in this tournament, at least, that we've seen ETC not last picked for the team. So it didn't actually hide the pick. And that's what we had seen previously. ETC was always last pick or, in that last 2 picks for the team. This case, they said, yeah, we're actually trying to grab ETC before our healer. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, I think he's getting a little bit more traction. Teams are feeling comfortable playing with him. And they're saying he's not as cheesy as, he used to seem. So... And I think both teams are ready, and we can actually get into this.
Well, it's going to be game number 1 here between Tempo Storm and Cloud9 Vortex. Guys, spread the word of Kings of the Storm 5.
Yes, you guys should be checking this out. It's going to be a real exciting series here. This is a best of 5, I believe so. Or is it? It's winners finals. No, that's right. Okay. So
only grand finals
still
best
2 out of 3.
Best of 3. Best of
3.
Thank
you for the correction there.
Scrub City, Kubus Maximus, step your game up. Well, we're going to see these two teams playing at the absolute top level here of Heroes of the Storm. Definitely. I mean, last time these two hit each other in a finals, it was actually a 2-0 victory on the side of Vortex.
Yep. So they're absolutely capable of taking down the monster team that is Tempo Storm. And let's get introducing that team in particular here. We have Arthalon on Malfurion, Glaurung's on Thrall, Dreadnought on Uther. Oh, he's doing it again. Yes. Oh, I have to watch
the pep talk.
Yes. Like, all right, boys, you ready? Yeah. So like there's something. Yeah. So good. All right. We got Soldier on Stitches, and KO's gonna be rounding it out on Nazebo.
Well, on the other half of the map, we do have Cloud9 Vortex. We have Cloud9 Chef here playing as Brightwing. Rajar is going to be on Tychus. K1 Pro will be playing as Vala. We see iDream playing as Zeratul, and the tank is going to be Bobby Hinkhill on ETC, riding his Lunar Festival Tiger.
Such matching? No, not even. That's
what?
Look at it.
Cows and tigers, oh my!
Cows and tigers, oh my! Oh boy!
Look at these moonfires on that wall. They're saying. Screw this wall in particular. They're looking there for iDream. They know he's around and just kind of I mean, Moonfire literally used every second on cooldown. Cost almost no mana, honestly, especially when you get Conjurer's Pursuit and start picking up those globes.
Yes, absolutely. So the big build that I'm going to be paying attention to, of course, is Thrall here. We've seen some variants where people are going Chain Lightning or Wind Fury. It looks as though Glaurung is opting to spec into the Wind Fury here. Of course, this level 1 talent reduces the cooldown of Wind Fury by 3 seconds. So he wants to get in there and he wants to do his work.
Right. So what you should end up seeing here at level 4, you'll end up seeing Venom on Thrall.
Yeah.
At level 7, he will get Battle Momentum. And when you have Battle Momentum in Wind Shear at level 1, now iDream getting blown up, able to blink on up with the roof there to secure the kill. Yes,
wow.
They get it. nicely done. But yeah, just like I was saying before,
Like I was
all
getting
that
there.
action, you get battle momentum with Wind Shear, the level 1 talent, and battle momentum combined. If you use your 3 auto attacks out of that Wind Fury, that's affected by battle momentum because you're hitting really quickly. So it basically gives Wind Fury a 3-second cooldown, which is just kind of insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the situation there where we had Zeratul like almost getting out, he actually made the right play, and you saw him stop for a second, and the roots actually persist a little bit longer than you would think, and he was sort of just trying to wait long enough to walk around them to get through the wall, but wasn't quite enough. He did end up getting rooted there, and we actually see Soldiers in a little bit of a pickle here. iDream is sort of blocking his escape, and I think he's just trying to stall time to get to the other side here.
And he's going to die. There's no way of him living. If there was a rotation a little bit sooner, but look at this.
How do you even get past these two guys? It's never going to happen.
That was just really well played by them. And but it buys out a Dragonite. He was standing on that the whole time.
It was stall, basically. I mean, he would have liked to have survived, I'm sure, in that situation, but yeah, it was a good stall. They did end up trading him in to get this Dragonite. This should catch them back up in experience for that lost kill.
Yep.
So
it should actually, I think they'll probably get an experience lead, honestly. They should easily get 2, 3, maybe even 4 towers here with this Dragonite. Has another 25 seconds available just about. And of course, they're making sure they soak all 3 lanes. But right now, actually, the bottom lane isn't being soaked by Vortex.
Yeah, and of course they're going to send someone. I think K1 Pro will just poke his head out just a little bit to make sure that he's getting the experience. Actually, no, he might actually get denied. I would have actually liked to seen Dreadnought not actually even touch those creeps there just to deny that experience. But we do see that Arthon is still continuing to pound away at these towers here. Should get at least 3. 0 seconds left on it. But they may just press a little bit here just to get that experience lead. We can see it right now. It's in full effect. They're about a half level up.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a look at the builds here. I mean, pretty standard stuff across the board. We're looking at a multi-shot build coming out of Valen. We got Melting Point here on Tychus, pretty standard. Brightwing actually opting for that Predictive Shield. So it's a pretty standard, old-school Brightwing build up to this point. We'll see if we end up seeing Cleanse or not. It seems seems pretty likely when you consider the amount of root and lockdown available.
Yeah, Cleanse has become such a really, really popular talent, especially in the North America scene here. They've switched over to this. And we do see the Elun's Grace out of Malfurion here, so that's the extra range on all the basic abilities. Battle Momentum on Thrall, like you were mentioning, that's just to reduce the cooldown, especially Sundering if, that's the heroic he chooses to go. Get tons of value out of that.
The rooting here, actually Brightwing just going around the top there, going to be just fine. Now Cleanse wasn't needed. Since that the tower was down, he's able to just kind of edge around the top and just barely dodge it. Cleanse was picked up here for Brightwing, though.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily point to him grabbing Emerald, not Emerald or Blink Heal, just because he did go Protective Shield.
Knowing Chef, I think he'll get Blink Heal. But you're right, Emerald Wind is totally a viable option, especially when you consider this front line that's hard to initiate because that's a full disengage available.
And another...
Oh my goodness! No. Just getting a...
The Cleanse!
Wow! Wow! Huge plays there, but he ends up getting that Chain Lightning.
The Cleanse would have been so huge. I just saw him start moving. I was like, oh my gosh.
I believed, but not quite enough there. A nice attempt to get on out, but that's going to be a good gank there for Tempo Storm, giving it 2 to 1 kills at this point in the game.
And they got almost a level advantage at this point. And getting up to close to that level 10, that could give a pretty big timing attack for Tempo Storm here.
Yeah, like you said, a nice slight advantage. 10 seconds until these shrines spawn. Now, this bottom shrine, it looks like it's being held right now. We heard that bribe stack click. Brightwing sitting on presently 1 bribe stack exactly. And, yeah, both teams just going to be rotating around playing musical chairs. Not magical
chairs this time. Yeah, and we can see that actually it looks as though Tempo Storm is going to be picking up both shrines. I don't think that they will have the presence available in mid long enough to cap this. Yeah, we can see that K1 Pro and Raja are rotating up. And the hook on iDream is actually really huge. That gives them so much more time. Yes. That was very, very clutch. Nicely played there by Soldier to pick up that hook. If they didn't, they would have had control of that top shrine, and for sure they would have been able to stall out this Dragonite. And they're going for the fort.
Yeah, and actually iDream has to bolt forward here or blink forward, trying to get out of this. The hook goes down in the Gorge as well. And Sundering is available if needed, but he's probably going to throw his Wolf out and not even needed their Chain Lightning and Venom coming out from Thrall. Going to be enough to get that kill. This Dragonite now has a 4 in 5, or 1 man, essentially 1 man advantage. Yeah. And they're making sure they soak all 3 lanes while pushing with this Dragonite.
Yeah, they have to be careful. They really need that level 10 before they can even try to pick a fight against this Dragonite. They will get this wall for free, and they did just pop level 10, so let's see what they're going to quickly pick their heroics. They are going to go for Stage Dive and Rain of Vengeance here. Odin, of course, and Blink Heal like we predicted earlier on. And Zeratul has not picked yet.
Void Prison is pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if we've never seen Shadow Assault picked in any competitive play. So Void Prism is always going to be the pick here just to get those setups. And they actually back up. They don't press too hard. They don't end up taking this top 4, but good amount of pressure, and they basically sustain this 1-level lead over Cloud9 Vortex here.
Well done so far right here by Tempo Storm, looking incredibly strong at this point. Vortex, though, they are far from out of it, just 1 level behind. And structurally, they're really not in a bad spot. I mean, they've maintained all of their forts, even through that Dragon Knight aggression, even through losing a member in that too. They haven't lost anything, and they've kept up an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's absolutely not like an insurmountable lead here that Tempo Storm is holding. They are continuing to rotate around, just trying to keep that map control that they have. Bobby Hank Hill might actually be a little bit out of position. We see the rotation coming up from KO.
Oh, that's going to do it. Look at that zoning they had available, and he's going to get blown up there. He even chose a weird path. He thought the wolf might be coming up. He dashed forward. The wolf wasn't even being used.
Yep.
Both teams really respecting each other and holding out their abilities until they know they can absolutely hit if possible. But during all of this, the rest of Cloud9 is putting the pressure on in this bottom lane with these Siege Giants.
Yeah, this is a nice response to a situation it's pretty bad because they've lost CTC here. They're trying to make the best of it. They will be able to put the pressure on here and get the fort because they know that the rest of Tempo Storm is on the top lane.
Problem being is, yeah, they got 1 fort, but right now they're getting pressed on 2 forts. We see Nazeeba doing some work here in the middle, but Chef is going to be here to scare him on out, and this top fort will fall in return with the Knights pushing on down.
Yeah, and once again, we have the shrines popping up in another 25 seconds or so. We're going to have to see how each team decides to posture here. I would say, considering that C9 Vortex is a little bit behind, they might want to consider pooling a lot more of their resources into 1 shrine just to make sure that they hold it and don't give up any more dragons to Tempo Storm. But we'll see what kind of strategy they opt to take.
Well, these bottom bruisers are being contested right now. Glowering Soldier and KO are here and just Idream, but we see Chef, Rajar, and K1 making their way on down. That wall is going to zone them out for the time being, and Dread in the backline has that presence there with Divine Storm. They say, look, give it up.
Yeah, one of the interesting things to note about this game, we've been, a couple minutes past level 10 for both teams, but no real full engagements.
Yeah,
it's
you're
been
right.
just picks on either side of the team. So I'm curious to see how much effectiveness Thrall is going to get in these team fights, especially when you consider Polymorph is available and ETC. There's a lot of stuns there. So, I mean, a lot is going to be riding on can they keep Thrall alive to really get all of those Wind Fury shots off. But if he gets stunned out the whole time, that's been Thrall's sort of his problem in the meta.
Oh, but Dread is all by himself here in the bottom lane with 4 members of Cloud9 Vortex, and he's going to be backing on up off of that shrine. Top shrine has been traded over to the side of Tempo Storm. We see KO and Arthon with Glowering here, and the iDream gets stunned out, but he's going to be just fine. Stage dive coming down here, and we see the Ravenous Spirit just kind of go into town immediately. That Odin is very low. We see that Zeratul was blown up almost instantaneously. We see the Tranquility just keeping everyone so healed up on the side of... I mean, how do you kill Tempo Storm with this much healing?
Yeah, it's really hard. They actually did a pretty good job interrupting the Ravenous Spirit there. K1 Pro found himself in a position where he could cast Raid of Vengeance. He got over there and appropriately canceled it, but by that time it was a little bit too late, unfortunately. The Odin was being popped in the middle of the team, lost a ton of health before he could even get any effectiveness out of it. So, yeah, Tempo Storm did a good job cleaning up that fight, and they are appropriately rewarded with the Dragon Knight here, and they're going to push down this middle fort.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Glowering here in this Dragon Knight. We're only 9 minutes in, and they're really just getting this aggression on. They're going to get this fort, and they're going to just go push back towards these towers. We see that all 5 members of Vortex are alive at this point in time, but still, I mean, they are on the back foot. Looking at the talents, 16 to 14.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And we see, especially the big one that I'm noticing here is Fishing Hook. That's the extra 50% range onto Stitch's Hook talent. That's going to be even more scary picks. They have to position themselves appropriately against that. Actually, the double Moonfire talent's coming at him up here, and I was expecting level 16 the slow, but the reduction in mana cost and radius is pretty nice.
Full Moonfire is not common.
Not at all. We're seeing some strange things. You saw that Hook almost grabbing C9 Chef there. Nice dodge. Yeah, full Wind Fury build coming out of Thrall here.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, this is the optimal damage build for Thrall, but it's uncommon because of how easily Thrall can be blown up. But with double support, I mean, we're seeing a lot of use out of it. I mean, if we look at the damage here, I mean, Thrall is top in the charts. He's sitting at 14, over 14,000 damage, and we're only 10 minutes into the game.
Absolutely. So yeah, at this point, basically Vortex is going to want to try to play a little bit passively. They only have about a quarter of a level to go before they can hit level 16. And that's gonna provide a lot more safety for especially Tychus and ETC. Vala is going to probably be picking up Blood for Blood there. That's going to be some more sustain. Critter Eyes gets some a little bit more damage output if they so choose that, and Zeratul, of course, getting double bombs. And
Yeah, we can
yeah,
see
that's
that.
exactly what they end up choosing. So all pretty
you a
standard picks.
prophet?
I know, right?
Who would have thought? Well, these bruisers being picked up here in the top of the map. Vortex has hit 16, so they're in a better spot than they were about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And that Gorge goes down here.
It was
Soldier,
big.
the Root are lined up. This Odin is being used. Void Prison used
I like it.
defensively. The Sundering was used as well here. Stage dive actually just to help Zone and Peel here. And he's actually getting a lot of work done. Glauron getting killed in the last possible second. But we see that Ravenous in the back line is going to force them to run away. It's not getting a lot done. But that big fishing hook is going to secure the kill on Rajar. And while it looked like, Vortex took what was a bad situation to get out of it, the hook just kind of says, nope, we're actually going to get
they
our
secured it. Yeah, huge trade of heroics there, and it almost looked like no one was going to end up dying there. Really nice dodge there from C9 Sheth using his blink heal just to make sure that he didn't get hooked in that situation, because it could have happened. And yeah, they're backing up, and they managed to only lose one person there, so they're just going to play safe, wait until another 20 seconds before Tychus can get back up. In the meantime, though, this does give Tempo Storm a good bit of map control.
Yes, and they're just kind of going around grabbing those Siege Giants. They're going to be making their way to these Bruisers if they so please. But we see the Shrines are spawning in 4 seconds. Stitch is in position right now.
Yep.
ETC is here, keeping his eyes on, so he's giving full vision that he's here with the minions. And he has to assume, he sees that being capped, so he knows what's happening. Both Shrines available for Tempo Storm, and Glaurung's just
it's already there. They
Dragonite.
they had full map control up into that position, and they just made full use of it. It was sort of unfortunate timing for Cloud9 Vortex there that the Knights would spawn at that time. But they're going to move forward. They're going to try to poke at this tower here. They want to get this keep.
So those Giants going to be pushing in the bottom. This Dragonite in the middle of the map, smacking away at these towers. Notice he goes for the wall first.
That's for the hook.
Open up the hook. Yep, there it is. And, just one of those nice little cheeky plays. If that hook landed, I mean, this would have been... It honestly could have put it in a situation where it would have been game. But
that's true.
As it stands, they're still safe, and they can still definitely defend and get back into this game.
Yeah, especially against a team like Tempo Storm. They've been known in the past for taking a situation. If they get a quick kill at this point in the game, they will end it if they think there's a chance for it. So and they've been very successful with that.
Okay, Tychus way out of position now. We see that Stitches was looking for the opportunity to maybe capitalize on it, but he's going to be rotating back around down in the bottom, getting back on up. Keep is under siege, but it's
I
still
think that they should be able to finish this off here. We see iDream waiting in the back. He's looking for a position to land this Void Prison. And he only catches Dreadnought.
Yeah, he gets Dread, and a lot of damage going off, but as soon as that happens, we see Tranquility here, keeping everyone nice and healed up. Rajar's Odin is very low. Sundering knocks him back, but it actually looks like he might get out of this. As I say that, the Wolf goes for it, hitting him, and he's going to slip away here. Blink heal on iDream. The Gorge going out from Rajar. A bit of big rain of vengeance, not going to be enough to save him. Divine Storm, and that hook going in on Rajar, going to secure the kill. Zeratul's dead. Vala's dead. Tychus is dead. Sheth is going to live here. The Ravenous Spirit will secure the kill on Bobby Hankill, and I think this is going to be game number 1.
Does he have it?
It's not even necessary.
Yeah,
Why bother
it's
chasing
not.
up Right Wing? They can just kill this keep and go on into the core.
Yeah, and that's absolutely going to do it for game number 1 here of the winners finals of Kings of the Storm number 5. Yeah, there's absolutely no way for Chef to defend this. And actually pretty well played.
Yeah.
Not too many team fights. Only like 2 really big team fights ended up happening there. But, I mean, of those, we did see Thrall getting a lot of work done. And, well played to the Double Storm guys.
Kubi, this is the 3rd game that we have cast with Malfurion and Uther on a team. Only seen this today. We've seen double support before, but it's scary.
It's working.
It's
working really well. There's so much lockdown.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
No, they just don't die. I mean, only 1 kill on the side of Vortex. A single kill versus the 11 kills, which a lot of them happened at the end of the game there.
Yeah, and that 1 kill was just to trade out for a Dragonite. It was almost intentional at that point.
Yeah, it got them a huge swing. So
it's working. They're probably going to keep going back to it. Why not?
At this point, I almost want to say, like, one of the correct plays in the draft might be to take Uther early. Would this be as strong with Brightwing and it's still good Brightwing Malf, but maybe denying Uther? I mean, Dread seems super comfortable on Uther. The Divine Storms are big.
Yep, absolutely. And we know that Sheth has a good Uther too. So
yeah,
I mean, I know he's comfortable on that. It's not a comfortable a thing where they're not going to play Uther because they aren't comfortable on him. Why not go for it? It's a possibility. I mean, they're running this comp and it's working well for them.
It's true. But game number 2 will be coming up next.
Yes. I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and you guys stick with us, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.